So about a month ago, Ari and I did a video where we showed our experience using the LG Gram for about a week, and we asked you guys if you wanted to see a full review after a month, and the answer was overwhelmingly yes. So here are my thoughts on the LG Gram 15-inch model with a max configuration after a month. And bonus, LG sponsoring today's video and a giveaway of the brand new LG Gram that I have right here. And if you guys want to enter, you just got to make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Hit that like button and leave a comment down below, and boom, you're entered to win. And when you leave a comment down below, let me know how you would use the LG Gram, and also throw in your Twitter handle or Instagram handle. That way I'll be able to get in touch with you a bit easier after I've selected the winner, and I plan to announce it over on Twitter, so make sure you're following me, and good luck. But now on to my thoughts. In thinking about the LG Gram, you gotta think about who this laptop is for and its utility in the average consumer's day-to-day life. So first, let's take a look at the specs and what's powering this thing. The first and obviously most notable thing about the LG Gram is the fact that it weighs less than 2.5 pounds. It's made out of magnesium, which helps to minimize the weight, making this thing extremely portable. Over the last month, if I was heading out and I needed a laptop for some of my simpler tasks, it was the one I grabbed the most. And every day when leaving the office and I throw this thing into my backpack, I'd really appreciate how light it was. Usually it's the laptops that really weigh down my backpacks, amongst other things, but usually the laptops are the big heavy guys, so having this thing be so light made carrying my backpack even easier. And just because I like grabbing this thing for simpler tasks doesn't mean it can only handle simple tasks. This thing's packing an Intel Core i7-8550U processor, 16 gigs of RAM, 1 terabyte of storage, so it's pretty solid. And I'll throw up the full spec list for those of you who are interested. And with all of this means you'll be able to do your typical web browsing, video chatting with the webcam in the proper position now, and fully use Microsoft's Office software, but also some more demanding things like photo editing or even some video editing depending on the kind of footage you use. I've easily done some photo editing using Lightroom for my Instagram pictures or even my YouTube thumbnails without feeling like I needed to grab another machine to get it done. So I imagine if you're a student, this thing will meet all of your needs, unless you're doing something really intensive, like if you're an engineering major or you're doing 3D renderings for school, that might be a bit different. And in terms of I/O, the Gram's pretty solid. On the left side, you've got your port for power, a USB 3.0 port, your HDMI port, as well as a Thunderbolt 3 port, which you can only see on the 15-inch model. Moving over to the right, you've got 2 USB 3.0 ports, a headphone jack, and a micro SD card slot. And in my first week with it, I mentioned how difficult it was for me to get into the flow of typing with this thing because they fit a full keyboard with a number pad into 15 inches. But as I expected, once I used it a bit more, I adapted pretty quickly. And now I'd say I find it pretty comfortable typing on it, and it's really nice to have that number pad on the side, especially when I'm working with Excel sheets and I'm plugging in a bunch of numbers for business purposes, so it's really nice to have those extra keys. And a nice little touch with the Gram is the included fingerprint scanner right there on the power button, which lets you get into the computer without a password very quickly. And even better for doing those business tasks for me is being able to finally connect it to an external monitor with the Thunderbolt 3 port. I don't have many laptops that can really take advantage of these nice Thunderbolt 3 monitors that I have here, so it's great that this can, especially when it comes to gaming. Now this laptop might not be the best for intense gaming like I mentioned in the first video, but it can definitely handle some really light gaming. And another bonus with having that Thunderbolt 3 port is being able to add an external GPU, which I don't have currently, so I haven't been able to really test this out. But having this laptop makes me really want to see how much an external GPU can help, so maybe sometime down the line I'll pick one up just to kind of do some more tests. Now in terms of media consumption, like watching my shows and some movies, even though I typically use my tablet, I was still able to enjoy doing so on the Gram, especially when lying in bed, since lying down allows the speakers to be unobstructed. And while the speakers have pretty great volume and they're crisp, it's located under the keyboard, which means when it's on my lap, it gets a little muffled. And I've got no real complaints when it's on an actual desk. I just found that when it's on my lap, I tend to block the speakers quite a bit. Other than that, this thing has a really beautiful display, a full HD IPS panel, and I gotta say guys, this display looks really, really good. It's sharp, colors are vibrant, and you get some really deep blacks, and you got a nice responsive touchscreen, so altogether it's a really awesome package, and probably one of the most underrated things about the Gram. And talking about gaming and media consumption brings me over to the battery life. I've consistently gotten about 8 to 9 hours of battery life with my 15-inch model, but on Ari's 13-inch model, she's gotten a bit more than me, which makes sense since hers isn't as power hungry and it's got that smaller display. So now the question is, who is this laptop for? And the answer is pretty simple. I think almost any average person could use this laptop for their day-to-day tasks and be really happy with the display, performance, and other features I already mentioned. But where you really get the value out of this is if you're someone on the go. So if you're a student constantly going between classes, or someone with a long public transit commute and you like to get work done during that commute, with that awesome battery life and super lightweight feel, this laptop is perfect. But overall, I've been very happy using the Gram for the last few weeks, and I can't wait to see what LG does with the next iteration, since they are always getting better and better. Fingers crossed for a dedicated GPU. That would be really awesome. Maybe some speaker placement changes, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be the cool guy or girl that gives it a thumbs up, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Definitely make sure you enter that giveaway. But till the next one, guys, it's your average consumer. Peace.